Hello, hello, hello. I'm Josetta Yvonne, your book bae, coming on with a quick book chat today. I hope this video finds you well. So I just wrapped up the book, The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is my first Tiffany D. Jackson read. It is a young adult book, but I've heard amazing things about many of her books. One of them being Allegedly, and the other one was, I think, was it Bloodline? And just so many others. So I decided when this one came out, instead of going and checking out her old catalog, I want to pick this one up. Also, the cover is beautiful. And I don't know, it really drew me in. How it has the fingers like somebody's a puppet master, because I know that's something a lot of us grew up with as kids. So this book was 358 pages, but honestly guys, the book is so good. I probably could have finished it sooner than yesterday. I think I got done with this on Wednesday. So I probably could have finished it really in a couple of days that I really had time to just sit down and just read without any interruptions. But anyway, let's get into it. So the back here says, Devante taps his temple. You're here, but your mind is trapped back wherever you came from. Mental freedom is the only way to true liberation. You were expected to be perfect, weren't you? Straight Aing your way straight to college. I'd love to meet the real Jordan if she's brave enough to come out and join us. He smiles and enters the lobby of our dorm as if he's a student who really lives there, which doesn't bother me. What bothers me is how he seems to see right through my act. Now, this book is based on a HBCU campus. As I just read on the back, Devante is one of the main characters, along with Jordan in this book. And he considers himself to be I'll just use the word leader, a thought leader at that. As you can see, I had so many sticky notes expressing my thoughts throughout the pages. And a few things that came to me as this group of young women and men on this HBCU campus navigated their freshman year. I think they were all freshmen in college. One thing that stood out to me, or that popped into my head as they were navigating everything, is I can remember as a kid, my mom, them always saying, if so-and-so jumps off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge? It was like these things that moms would say, I know Black moms, and I think that's a question that would pop into my head when they would do certain things. I remember seeing some reviews where people said they got frustrated at certain points in the book because of these young people's naivety and them going along to get along. But to me, it just also showed the true power of people wanting to belong to something and to want to be friends and not be outed. It also kind of reminded me a little bit of Diddy's new documentary on Netflix that 50 Cent produced. Um, because of just some of the things that was just happening that you wouldn't necessarily think like this is real life. I think this could actually be a really great movie too when I think about everything that was going on in this, because it was such a page turner. I think people would tune in and watch this because it was such um, a great read and so well written. And so another thought that came to my head was during this book, because I don't want to give away anything, I thought about how, and I guess maybe this is just maybe because I'm older now, but even when I was younger, but especially now that I'm older, I think, and I've noticed that adults do this as well. But friends, yes, they are important, and family as well. But if you have to betray who you are, if betrayal is the only way people will stay associated with you, if you're not being your true self, then it's costing you too much to be in these relationships or friendships. Even if it's family, if I have to dumb myself down, if I have to think like you, be with you, if I can't have my own opinion about things, if I'm only loved or appreciated when I'm doing exactly what you want, how you want it, saying it how you want, dressing, like if it's only love for me when I do it exactly how you want it done, then that's not love. That's not friendship. That's not true community, because that's what I would think should make us stronger is our differences, um, not someone's desire to control you and make you be who they want you to be in order to be in their presence. Another thing I thought about was the mental strength that is so important. Um, the mind games that were being played with these young people. I thought about how some people seem to be an energy vampire. And even you notice how certain people, like I know like a Young the Vincent uses beloved. But if a man that's never met me starts off calling me beloved or love or boo or whatever after his first meeting with me, a red flag will go up. Yeah. I loved also the plot twist at the end. It was so good, unexpected, and I didn't see it coming. And so let me share with you one of my favorite characters. He's toward the end. It is Professor Barnes. And he just talked about Black joy. And really about trusting your internal instincts. Because many times we have them, but we don't want to lose people. So we ignore our internal instincts that are screaming at us to run instead of holding on. I loved also that they gave a book recommendation on page 154. and it was called Slavery to Liberation, the African American Experience. I guess it could be actually a textbook, but I saw it online when I Googled it. It did pop up as a PDF. So it's something I do want to pick up myself and look at. But let me share this part here that Professor Barnes said. And I'll also mention people's audacity was at an all-time high in this book. Ridiculously high. But anyway, as I close out, because like I said, I don't want to share too much. I want you to pick it up because it is a great book, a real page turner. I love this part or this conversation that one of the main characters, Jordan, is having with Professor Dr. Barnes at her HBCU, her school. And she says, how do you go on living in a world that hates us? So he sets down his mug with a smirk and he says, my dear, I see you are at a crossroads that most students find themselves in at some point in their college life. When they've stepped out of their parents' protective bubble and into independence. It's been proven that the road to Black liberation and consciousness will never be a single lane. Did you know that the late, great James Baldwin spent a considerable amount of time abroad in places like Paris and Turkey? He said it best, to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a state of rage almost all the time. So, oh yes, the state of this world makes me very angry. But I do not let anger dictate the road I travel on. I choose joy. And she says, joy? The professor, Dr. Barnes, says, absolutely. To build a future that is rooted in equality and liberation, you must imagine and pretend that it is possible. And the key part of imagination is joy. Joy is an act of resistance. It's revolutionary. The fact that our people have survived all that we have survived and thrived, defying expectations and insurmountable odds, that deserves to be celebrated. So yes, I can still be a part of the fight for Black liberation while I travel, dance with my friends, laugh, and drink tea with my students. Some people choose different revolutionary roads to travel on. No journey is wrong, but judgment of each other's roads has led to some divisiveness and fracture in our communities. That is why you standing at this crossroads feels so pivotal, because the road you might want to take may be different than the road your friends or even your family have taken. I did not expect that piece, but I loved it so much. It was a pleasant surprise, and it was so good for my soul. I mean, I breathed. I just took that in, like I inhaled it, like, and I reread it because it just really sat with me, and it felt like wisdom, and it felt it felt timely. It felt like the perfect time to be reading this and this being said. And while reading that part, I thought about people in my life, professors, teachers, friends. Some people that you meet just feel familiar in a good way. And they feel like family, like good family, like safe spaces. And they are. And they love you without even knowing you. They look out for you without wanting nothing from you. And this is what this professor reminded me of. He actually kind of reminded me of my professor I had, Professor Stamps, that is just speaking life into your young mind and wanting you to see how valuable you are. But yes, he was one of my favorite characters. Yeah. I think that's all I'm going to give you. I'm not going to give you anything else on the book. It is a must read. Pick it up. I know there are many people doing reviews on the book, so I didn't want to go into, too much detail because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But the audacity, all-time high. Parents, let's listen to our kids. Let's make sure that they feel comfortable reaching out. Let's be that ear. We don't want people to take advantage of them when they go out into this world. Yeah. Things happen, but we really want them to stay connected with us. And yeah. Anyway, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Read the book. Check it out. It's such a great read. Talk soon. Have a great day. Happy Friday. Bye-bye.